Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel, and today I'm going to discuss the dilemma of students who are wishing to become mathematicians but are faced with a lot of problems because their teachers are actually numbskulls who have never understood mathematics. Even their mathematics professors are idiots. So they never really learn to do mathematics or how to understand it, rather. So whatever they learn is usually rote fashion because, to be quite frank, their teachers don't know any better, and that's pretty much how their teachers learned. So I mentor a lot of students, and one of my recent students sent me a message which I'll share with you, and I'll discuss the problems that this young person faces. I don't know whether it's a female or male, so let's begin. Now, so this is the message. Excuse me. I am a beginner to the concepts of calculus. Okay, so this is a 17-year-old in his final year of high school. I have learned how to solve derivatives and indefinite integrals, whatever that means. I mean, he probably means to find derivatives and indefinite integrals. But to be frank, in school, they only say how to solve the problem. So they teach you how to solve the problem. And then we solve those similar problems from the book itself. And then they give you a set of routine exercises, which are really just drill exercises, and show you how to solve the problem. It's the kind of thing that those private schools in the United States do, who promise parents students will have very high grades in their AP exams, and then when they get to university, they don't understand a thing. And I'm talking of basis independent schools, Rancho Solano, and a lot of other private prep schools who are really garbage schools, in my opinion. And if you have the option not to send your child there, don't send your child there, because they don't teach your children how to think. So, and of course, public schools are generally a disaster in the United States also. So then he says, but the problem is that they don't go through much about the concepts. Well, it is a big problem. But the reason they don't go through much about the concepts is that they don't know. Okay, so I've never met a mathematics professor who understands what is a number, or who can tell me in just one sentence what does it mean to be a number. They can't tell me. Okay, they can't tell you either, because they don't know. They've never understood the elements of Euclid. They've never understood what mathematics is all about. And mathematics, by the way, is the abstract science of measure and number. It's not about the garbage of set theory and topology and all the other BS that you find in university courses nowadays. Then he says, and of course this email is in response to 3 questions I asked him. I asked him to tell me what is a number, what is a derivative, and what is a definite integral. So he just told me what is an indefinite integral here, but we'll get to the rest in a moment. So he says, how does it apply in real life? And he says, sure. If I'm given a typical solving equation problem, for example, I'm just taking a random question, differentiate e to the power of 3x times cos 2x. Then we just apply the formula of UE. So actually what he's talking about, as you'll see here, is he's talking about the integration by parts formula. Okay, so basically he says you take e to the power of 3 as u and cos 2x as v, and then you apply the integration by parts formula. So he knows how to do this. I mean, he knows rote fashion how to do all these things, and most students who pass their AP exams also know how to do these things, but they don't understand anything. So he says, I don't want to be someone who just learned math in the high school years and see calculus or any other category in mathematics, like a bunch of complex numbers forming equations. So already, this person has taken the first step into becoming a real mathematician, okay? This is what tells me that the student really wants to be better than the morons who teach at universities and at high schools, okay? So he or she wants to understand. I want to learn beyond that. Okay, that tells me that this person is serious. In other words, they don't just want to get a BSc in mathematics, which is a load of BS if you get my drift, and they want to understand mathematics. And he says, if you get my point. Well, that's an irony because, I mean, that is my point, basically, as you all know. I have been saying these things for many decades. So, and then he says, also, I want to be an industrial designer after college and aspire to get into MIT to pursue my career. Now, I didn't tell him anything about this last part, but getting into MIT is not going to teach him anything about understanding, because MIT is just basically the same as every other college, with the exception that it has the distinguishing characteristic, its name. Okay, so it's basically a college where you pay for the name of the degree that you obtain. So the fools who graduate from MIT are no better than the ones who graduate in some part of Africa, in some remote country, okay, because they do exactly the same stuff as what MIT students do, or RIT, or whichever other Ivy League university you want to talk about. So yes, so my point here is this, that to learn mathematics, you have to start from the beginning. Now, in his first answer, where he or she told me about what is a number, the best part of the answer was that it's the basement of the building of mathematics. And so that's a nice expression, and it's somewhat true, but it doesn't tell me what is a number, okay? It doesn't tell me what is a number. Also, when I asked him about a definite integral, he says, oh yeah, it's just the reverse of a derivative. And of course, he didn't even explain properly he or she didn't explain properly what is a derivative. Couldn't tell me what is a derivative, but knows how to calculate a derivative. So yes, so this student is very sincere. The student is honest. The student wants to learn beyond the crap that you learn at MIT and all the other colleges worldwide. So I've given this person a task, and I'll give you the same task. And the task entails studying this first article, okay? So I want you to study this article, Discovering the Concept of Number, A Personal Journey, and then answer a few questions, which I shall place in the details section of my video, okay? And it'll just pertain to this article, and then we'll see how well you do. And so what I intend to do is pick out parts of my experience mentoring this person in the Far East, to understand mathematics better, to extend that to everybody else, anyone who's interested, okay? So if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, please become a subscriber. Please click like. I have many enemies, and many of them hold very high positions in prestigious universities in the United States and worldwide. They're actually assholes of the first degree. I'm talking about people like Gilbert Strang from MIT, Jack Hazinger, an ex-Harvard alumnus, Anders K. Sorok, and so many others who are my enemies. Okay, and you can find a lot of them on sci.math. So, and of course, they've got all their little mental midgets who they've taught to occasionally place a little love comment. Actually, it's a hate comment on my YouTube. I don't even read it. I just ignore it. After I read the first 2 lines, I see it's garbage, and I delete it. So they're actually wasting their time placing their vomit on my channel. I do know better than anybody else. I am a genius. I'm not arrogant, by the way. Yes, I'm not arrogant at all. I have nothing left to be arrogant about. I'm homeless. I'm just about destitute. I'm ill. I have a permanent lung disease. That's right. I could get sick at any time. And the only thing that keeps me going is hope. Hope that I'm able to leave behind something wonderful for all those aspiring young mathematicians. And I'm not talking about the fools that come out of schools like Bases Independent or any of those other crap preparatory schools in the United States. So also, if you're able, I ask you to donate on my GoFundMe channel. Anything will help, even just a few dollars. It'll help towards making my final years a little easier. And that for me is a big deal, by the way. So that's pretty much it. My name is John Gabriel. This is a new calculus channel. Until next time, goodbye.